Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics, Fang Man. That's right, more Filmation representation for the Classics line. Now that Mattel has the rights, we're finally starting to get action figures of characters that have been asked for many years. Fang Man here is actually one of the most requested Filmation characters of all time, and a personal favorite of Four Horsemen Design's own Eric Treadaway. So has he done justice in his first ever action figure? Let's find out. Fang Man comes in the familiar Masters of the Universe Classics blister card packaging. The backside shows off a selection of other Classics figures, as well as gives us a brand new bio for the character. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this guy outside of the packaging. I think the first thing worth mentioning is that this guy looks like he leapt right out of the cartoon series. The Horsemen did a pretty incredible job of taking the look of this classic animated character and translating him into action figure form. But even though he's based on a cartoon character, there is certainly no lack of detailing in his sculpt. He features many wrinkles and folds in his skin, seen primarily in his face and on his neck, which really gives him that reptilian feel. The shirt that he's wearing also has many wrinkles in it, and on his back you can even see spines that are attempting to push through his shirt. Now, along with capturing that animated look, I will say that the paint job on this figure is very vibrant. He features a bright blue paint for his skin tone, and his outfit is a mixture of yellows, oranges, and reds. His eyes are a very bright yellow with beady black pupils. Now, even though those colors are bright, there is still some good shading found all throughout his outfit, and some nice two-toned paint found on his collar and wrist bracers. Alrighty, let's take a closer look at Fang Man. So first of all, we'll go ahead and go down all of his articulation. Cool thing about Fang Man is that since he's got some new pieces here that are not common on a regular Classics figure, his articulation is a little bit different. So let me show you what I mean by that. First of all, see the little tongue hanging out of his mouth? The tongue actually has an articulation point. It's able to swivel both left and right. It does just kind of run into his teeth there. It looks like his mouth does kind of fold open. The mouth itself is not articulated, but when you pull it open, you can actually see the little peg that the tongue is attached to on the inside. So you can go ahead and, if you hold the mouth down, you can get the tongue to go underneath the teeth, and that way you can have his tongue hanging out of the side of his mouth if you want to. And you can just kind of move it around in the front. So that right there is kind of a neat little feature. That's definitely something that they didn't have to do, but pretty cool that they added that in there. So we have the ability to move the tongue around for some different poses. Also, of course, he's got this extra extension, so that he's kind of got that hunched over, longer neck look. And the neat thing about this is it's double ball jointed. So his head is on a ball joint that's on this neck extension, and then the neck extension is on the standard ball joint that is on the male buck. So that's the standard joint that usually the heads are on top of. So that means we can twist that neck piece around, we can kind of roll it up and down. You can see it's got the ability to rock up and down, kind of roll all the way around, and the head itself is able to turn as well. So we can kind of get that cool left and right movement there. You can rock it up and down a little bit as well. So you can actually get quite a bit of posing out of his head and neck, which is really neat. Now the rest of the articulation is pretty basic for the Classics figures there. You can see he's got the ball jointed shoulders there. The sleeve on his shirt is soft enough that it doesn't seem to hinder the motion at all. You can still raise his arm all the way up, same distance we can on the other figures. Rotates around, of course, with a swivel at the bicep there. You got the standard elbow joint. You've got the swivel at the wrists. All of this articulation nice and tight, by the way, which is really great. You got the torso cut there so he can rock up and down. You got the waist swivel. the loincloth piece he's wearing, which is a cool new little piece there with a neat little sculpting on the belt. This is all a very soft plastic, so you can see it's nice and pliable there. That way you can get the legs spread all the way outwards. You can move them forwards and backwards. So this guy can get in some great poses, great for, sitting on any of the beasts, sitting in the Wind Raider. He can definitely do all that. Of course, he's got his thigh swivels there, standard joint at the knee there, swivels at the boot cut, and he's got the nice tight ankle articulation, and of course these are the feet that do not have the ankle pegs showing. So it's got the hidden peg there, and the ankles are very tight on this figure. So great articulation all the way around. Very cool to see all the new additions in the head there. Lots of great stuff going on. So one of the other things that's really neat about this, I mentioned how he's kind of got that hunched over look, and of course part of that is accomplished by this new neck extension and the way that the head is going out. It gives him the appearance of being hunched over. Part of the other thing that really helps with that is the shirt that he's wearing. You can see that the sculpt of the shirt on the back has kind of got these cool spines sticking up, and it curves like his back is hunched and curved, and it actually just kind of flows right into that neck there. Now, if we pop all of this off, the shirt, of course, is removable, just like all the other things. There's the little pegs right there. You can just unlatch it. It's made of the same flexible plastic we've seen all the other stuff made from. So you pull all that off, and you can see that underneath, it's just a standard buck. It's actually the same one that we've got on figures like Whiplash, just without the extra pieces glued over it, so it's nice and scaly on the torso there. But as you can see, that's just the standard buck right there. So all of the hunched overness and everything is accomplished by the sculpting of the shirt and the neck extensions, which is incredibly brilliant. I think that's really great that Mattel and the Horsemen were able to utilize the standard male buck, yet still give us something that's this unique looking. Very clever on their part. So I talked about the neck extension there, how it's two separate pieces, and you notice that I popped it off the torso with that neck part there. Of course, you can also remove the head from the neck extensions. You can see it's just the same style ball joint on both the head and the little neck piece there. So, just say we want to have some fun here. I can show you how all of the interchangeability works with this. It's just like any standard figure. If you want to take the extra neck extension off, you could, of course, attach his head to the neck peg. Gives him a very funny no neck look, of course. That's hilarious, but it's worth noting that it works. If you really wanted to, we could put the neck extension on there and, I don't know, take like Skeletor here. We can pop his head off and we can put it on the neck extension. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but it works. That's a really goofy. And I don't know, you could pop that off and maybe you want to stick that on a male regular body there, like Skeletor's. Triclops, what did you do? I don't know. It's goofy, but worth noting that it works. So I don't know, maybe this will be something, that folks who like to interchange all their heads or maybe customizers out there could probably really get some good use out of that extra part there. So very cool. Lots of neat new features with Fang Man here.
Fang Man comes with a slew of awesome accessories. First up is this really wild-looking prod-type weapon. Now, Fang Man never actually used this in the cartoon, but this weapon did appear in pre-production artwork of the character. It's made of a very solid plastic and features a nice silver and orange paint job. I'm not exactly sure how this weapon is supposed to be used, possibly as an electrified rod, but Fang Man can hold it nicely in either of his hands. However, it is worth noting that his left hand is a bit more open, so he's not going to get as good of a grip with that hand. His next two accessories are straight out of the Filmation cartoon series. First up is the Wheel of Infinity from the episode The Time Corridor. This is the episode that Fang Man appeared in, and Skeletor used the Wheel of Infinity to travel back in time. So it's a pretty cool looking little accessory. It is hollow on the backside, but it's done in a nice gold plastic, and it looks just like it did in the cartoon series. And it's a perfect little artifact for your Skeletor action figure. Fang Man also includes the Sword of the Ancients from the episode Mask of Power. It's also made of that nice solid plastic with great paint, and perfectly matches the design from the cartoon series. While it's not necessarily a weapon for Fang Man in the show, it's still pretty great getting artifacts like this from the classic cartoon series. I hope that this is a trend that continues as we get more and more Filmation characters in the Classics line. So there you go, guys. There's a look at the Masters of the Universe Classics Fang Man. I think this was a great addition to the line now that Mattel has those Filmation rights. He does a great job of capturing the look of the character right as he appeared in that cartoon series. Now, on that same token, it may be worth noting that he might stand out just a bit when he's posed alongside some of the other figures. Now, Skeletor does have quite the wide array of colorful and unique looking warriors, but Fang Man does still look a little different than the rest. Even still, I think he is wonderfully detailed and works really well as a Classics figure. If you were never a fan of the Filmation cartoon series, maybe this one lacks appeal for you. But if you grew up with this cartoon like I did, and you often wondered why there were no action figures of certain characters, then I think you're really going to love this guy. Plus, all those cool little Filmation artifacts he comes with is just an added bonus. Fang Man is part of the 2013 Eternian Collectors Club subscription and would go on sale on March 15th, 2013. Until next time...